Well, here we are. I'm getting ready to go fishing. And what else do I do? That's my job, man. I went fishing yesterday to a little lake. I had a full of bluegills. I like catching bluegills, but I wanted to go catfishing today. So I wanted to catch the bluegills and clean them, save the entrails, and I'm going to take them down to the river and see if I can catch a big old catfish. I've done this before years ago. Haven't done it in a long time. So that's where you're going to go with me today if you're with me here. That's what's left of the fish. I put water on them so they wouldn't get dried out. I'm going to take those with me. I'm going to be going after a little bigger fish today, so I'll pick me out a heavier rod here. Haven't done this in a long time. And I want to make sure it'll sit in one of these rod holders. Oh yeah, that fits. That's a big heavy old rod. And I've got a reel here that's threaded with some salt water. That yellow one I just showed you. And I've got this ugly stick. That's a pretty good rod. It's strong enough, got enough backbone that I can drive a big hook into a catfish's mouth. Since I'm going to be trying to anchor the front end of my boat, I don't want to sit there and run my electric motor all day. That's the boat ramp. Just letting the electric motor turn it around. And first place I'm going to fish. See that little cove over there? And then there's a high pile of dirt right off on this side into the river by that high spot. I've got some pretty good catfish, so even though it's a noisy place, I'm going to try it. Well, since I'm fishing here in a river in Michigan that has salmon in it, or could have salmon in it, it's against the law for me to tie this hook directly to my line. I like to time like a drop shot. You can use a drop shot in a lake, but you can't use it in any rivers. So here in Michigan, so I'm used to fishing like that. I've been fishing like that my whole life in rivers. So what I've done, I put a split ring on my hook, and then I tie it to the split ring, and then they can't say that it's permanently fastened to my and I can't be snagging things. See, if I come up and hit a salmon, it just flop. So in other words, I have to get a bite to catch the fish, which I'm planning on. So I'm kind of, I don't know whether this is skirting the law or not, but I didn't even know it for a long time here in Michigan, and I still fished with my hook tied directly to my line. But then I found out that I could get a ticket, so anyway, that's what I do. Put a split ring, just a little old split ring, and tie it on, and then it flops around, see? See that? I'm not tied to the hook, I'm tied to the split ring. They can flop around, see? Now down at the end, about 2 foot or less, I'm going to put a sinker. And depending on how strong the current is, I'm going to put on the lightest sinker I think I can get away with. There's not much current here. So I'm going to go ahead and put my sinker. I did save the sinker from the fish. And there's my hook. And here, my sinker. That's it. See, it's about 2 feet, maybe 2.5. I don't know. I don't think it's. This will be on the ground bottom, and then the hook will float out past it, just kind of flop around. Now I gotta get some bait. Okay, there's the fish head I'm gonna use. You can see there were small bluegills, which is what I wanted yesterday to get this bait. Now I'm gonna hook him so that the hook comes out of one of these gill plates here. I don't know whether it makes any difference, but the fish are used to swallowing something that pokes them with a gill plate, and maybe they'll fool them. Fooled one. Well, as you can see, I'm not working too hard. I got a outfit over here. I got that one rigged up with a smaller hook, smaller bait. Everything's lighter. Same bait though, piece of bluegill. This one over here, I've got a whole bluegill head on there, looking for something bigger. It's got braided line for about, I think it's 60-pound test, heavier pole. And I'm just gonna sit here for a little bit. If I don't get a bite, I'll reel up, pull my anchor, slide down about 100 yards, drop them again. I'm just gonna keep doing that until I run out of deep water, or I catch some fish, or I get sick of it. Somebody thinks there's fish here. It's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. Sitting here in about 10 feet of water. A pole with the fish head on it. I saw the line pop a couple of times. Something's messing with it. And I just saw a gar come up the top of the water. Could be anything. Could be a sunfish. There's drum in here, there's sunfish, bluegills, even a few perch, I think. It could be whitefish. There could be, well, salmon, but they don't usually come up here this time of year yet. There he is again. See that line? He's still messing with it, whatever it is. It could be a crayfish. Oh, that ain't no crayfish. There he goes. Well, I wasn't able to grab my camera. It was tangled up in my wiring under the dash, but I turned on the other camera. I doubt if I'll get much. But I got one fish anyway. I was worried about letting him swallow it, but don't worry, he swallowed it. Yike. A little flathead. A little flathead. Give him some water. Pretty son of a gun. While I'm sitting here, I'm going to put new line on my little ultralight. I took all the line off. That's what I was doing when I got that bite. And it's a nice little ultralight. Called a Crappie Max. Love that little thing. Next time I'm in the area, I'm going to get me another one. Kids love them because they got little handles, short little handles. They're light. Cast great. Anyway, I'm going to show you how I'm going to put this new line on here. First of all, you want to make sure you know which way, when you reel it, which way the bail goes. So looking at it from the front, you can see that it goes clockwise. That's important, remember that. Okay, so now I got this little loop. What I'm going to do, I'm going to double up the line on up above it here, stick it through that loop, and then grab it. Now, you see? And that's the way I want it to go. When it starts to wind up on the spool, I want it to tighten up on that. So the harder I wind, the tighter it gets. See? It'll almost cut your finger. If I go like this, it just goes round and around. It won't wind. If I go like this, that should give you the idea. So now, I'm going to drop that loop, make sure the bail is not winding. And then you just flip the bail over and wind it up. That's what I'm using to hold my line while I wind it. Also, push that knot. See it? Let me have my light here. Put the knot as far back at the back as you can. Because it is going to make a bump. It'll throw out better if you start it out at the back and leave it back there. Yeah, most of the time it'll be buried under the other line, but not always. Now look at my little friend here. Once I got tired of flying along the river, he decided to just stay right here with me. Hi, buddy. All right, a little boat tour, river tour. Park there. Right across the river there's a giant hill. See that they've got boat lift there. I've caught fish right in front of that boat lift. Well, here's where I'm sitting. You see on this high cliff beside me. And I started casting. I threw out my catfish poles. I started casting this little thing, and I hooked something. I don't know what it was. He got off. He wasn't very big, but this is where I've caught a lot of smallmouth. So I'm going to sit here, and this little bait will keep me occupied while I'm waiting for a real bite. This is a smallie, a little smallie, but he's a smallie. I don't know why they come hang out here. It must be a lot of crayfish. They got a lot of spunk in these rivers. Goodbye, guy. Here's what I cooked him on. Ugly a bait. I was hoping maybe I'd find one of them walleyes. This river's noted for walleyes, but I never catch any. I don't know how to catch them, I guess. I'm gonna keep casting this and wait for a catfish. Come out of there. Quit button. See what he's been eating. There's what I want to see. Is that what I think it is? There's his last meal, boys. Still got the hook in it. See it? Okay, be that way.